So my second January 5th resolution is to draw more. I need to draw more because 2 years ago, I noticed I was in a slump. I was like, oh, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not progressing. I'm not enjoying this. I'm not going anywhere. And 2 years later, I realized it's because I didn't draw. I was doodling, and I'm gonna go through this pile real quick. I'm gonna keep talking. I was doodling really well. I was doodling um, just really well, and I wasn't focusing on the actual drawing of how they were placed in space. I wasn't focused on how they were my characters were interacting with each other. I wasn't working on backgrounds. I wasn't putting them in dynamic poses. They were just kind of standing there and they weren't doing anything. So this is one, I wonder if it shows up. It's from 2012. Yeah. And try to hold as still as possible. But there we go. Okay, so these two people are just kind of standing there. I really liked Vocaloid in 2012. And it was just, I really wanted to make a music video like everyone else was doing, but I obviously did not have the skill to make a amazing one, which was my goal. But if I had made one then, imagine how much experience I would have now. So even if you think you're not worth it, just achieve your dreams, kids. Just really go for it, because this is 4 years ago. And a lot of people are like, wow, this is so good. But I'm just like, oh, it's kind of trash. Oh. But I thought this was a really good example because I have two more examples here. I had 2 years after that, I had, hold on. 2 years after that, I drew this one, and it's the same people, but it's a little different. I'll go a little closer. As you can see, there's a little bit more attention to the face. There is a little bit more detail, but that's about it. The pose is the same. It's not very dynamic in any means. Maybe they have more eye contact, but who knows? And I didn't really get that far with form except for faces, because I was practicing faces, because faces were fun and faces were easy, and so was Pretty Little Updo hairstyles that she's got, and that was really fun, and it was casual, and I was gaining experience just by practicing those things. But it obviously was not the most important thing, because you can have the prettiest face, but if your hands or your leg positions, or if you're just standing there as opposed to actually dancing like they're supposed to be doing, it is not, you don't get anywhere. So that is something I really want to work on, because I realize I've already been working on it a little bit, but it is not as far as I believe I could have done if I had put my mind to it or my pencil to it or whatever. So this one I did late 2005, early 2016, 2015, late, early 2016. So here's this one, and since this is kind of where I'm at now, I'm really proud of it. As you can see, her face is most definitely different, but the way that they're holding each other, her dress is moving, he has his feet up in the air, his tailcoat is flowing behind him. He is most definitely more part of the picture than he was in the past two examples. He's most definitely got as much attention to him as there is to her. I realized that one of my other drawing friends, she's like, yeah, I just can't draw girls. Like, it's just really difficult. And I was like, I can't draw men. Like, this is ridiculous. And so after just sitting at lunch, drawing people on their, like, just on their phone. You know, they got their legs crossed, they got their arms foreshortened for you already. So, you know, there is plenty of people around you at any moment that are not paying attention to you, paying attention to them and how they're sitting and how they're standing and how they're moving. And if you're sitting there looking at your sketchbook and looking back up and your hand is going, they know what you're doing. They're not going to come and bother you. They know. So definitely take advantage of that if you have a lot of time where you find you're just on your phone, kind of wasting time, or if you're checking your Facebook too much, and you really want to work on something with your drawings, this is it. This will make it 10 times easier. I know a lot of people are, or not a lot of people that float to the surface are landscape artists. So they already know the patience of sitting there watching the landscape, doing it. They find great pleasure in doing so. Or if they're making architectural drawings, they're already doing it. If you're a form artist and you like to draw people, you need this experience. You need it. You can't go anywhere without it. You're just sitting there drawing eyes with like a single tear dropping from it. I've been there. Don't worry. But if that's what you find yourself doing right now, if you start working on proportions and form, and honestly just stick figure people, it will really, 5 years from now, you're going to be eons ahead of all of your peers who are doing the same thing. Like just eons, like you're just so far ahead. You're going to be doing the real important stuff now, and other people are going to be where I was, because I thought I was cool because I knew that dresses were this shape. But yes, so here's just another comparison of where I've come in 2012 to 2015. So, well, you couldn't really see that much there, could you? Yeah, I'll scan these and I might put a link in the description. I have a DeviantArt, but I haven't touched it in a while because, good Lord, where have I been? So that is my second January 5th resolution, is to draw more, because I want to see them dance. I want to see them dancing. They're still kind of standing there, and he's kind of like prancing. They're prancing, but they're not dancing. So I want to work on that. I want to see those guys dance. I want to make a video about it, post it to this channel, because I'm a dweeb, and that's what I really want to do. So I hope you drew something from this, because I sure did.